Hey there, friends. We are looking at two fabulous plunge routers, both cordless. We're looking at the Makita GRP01 40 volt plunge router, and we are looking at the DeWALT DCW 620. This is the 20 volt or the flex volt, which is 60 volt. Both of these are plunge routers. Both at the very end, we're going to put both of them through a little test and to see which one comes out on top. Okay. Could they have done any better? I mean, right out of the gate, look at this. Momentarily push that down. You can adjust this. If you want to lock it down, you just push it down. And another thing I want you to focus on is I'm only pushing this down with one hand. So some routers will bind unless you push it down with both hands. Now, of course, these slides are clean, so that might be some reason for that. But look at this. I don't even have to break my grip. I'm still holding on for all the functions as far as operating this here. Fantastic. Good job, DeWALT. Dust collection up here. I don't necessarily use dust collection in that manner. Of course, we use it on table saw. I don't necessarily use it on our routers. And I'm going to get to this because this has a horrible way of dust collection. But this right here, you pop this off and it comes with one of these attachments. I think it comes with that. Of course, it goes over there. And you could drape a hose over you. I just don't like hoses on routers because you're dealing with a very sensitive, you want to make sure nothing's unobstructing you running that down, getting a good clean pass. I don't want to burn the edges. I don't want to rock the router. And that's typically what I find with a hose, is it will somewhat manipulate the way I'm holding the router. So it doesn't matter to me that much that this is a piece of garbage. And I'll show you how that clips on here. But so the DeWALT definitely gets that win right there, because this is a rock solid that's going to last as long as the router does. And it's probably a really good setup right there. Very robust as far as the depth setting. Good detents, your notches as far as that goes. They did choose to go with hex nuts and flats, so you just loosen that up. I see we got a brass fitting down in there. So this is just, you can tell this is going to be this is never going to give you troubles. You have this insert in there to catch chips and to help with vacuuming. I'm assuming the dust goes up through. Sure enough, your dust goes right through there, up through that hose. And I already know, even though I've not used this vacuum portion right there, that would probably work fantastic. Probably it might be the best on the market. I've not ran a Fez tool router, but this right here looks really good, really good. Okay, it does come with a 1/4 and 1/2 inch collet, so that's nice. And you'll be surprised what Makita's done to do this, and I don't know if it's good or bad. Your speed of adjustments right here, that's nice. There again, you don't even have to basically leave. Your hand basically does not have to leave there as far as adjustment. Very well thought out. Super, super good engineering, and as far as just very friendly hand manipulation on this router. Okay, so we're talking about these guides. So I got the Porter cable here, and you see it has a couple steel dowels. That's the way most of them mount into the sides of this. Okay, so this one has, so you put it, I don't know why this one has 4. It's got 3 of these. So it's got a thumb wheel there, there. But a lot of times, see, the dowels will go through there. You tighten it down, and then, for example, let's say you put it on this side. You put the dowel through, tighten that down. Most of the time, these come with different lengths. So whether or not you want to mount this thing way out or in, but in short, the DeWALT one of these is fairly inexpensive. It looks like it's built pretty decent. It's readily available. There's a reason why I'm stressing that on the DeWALT, because we weren't as successful on the Makita. All right, so let's talk about the Makita. So The dust collection is a joke, mainly because of the shroud that they supply. It snaps in there like so, screws down, but it's so cheaply made that it looks like if you just look at it wrong, it's gonna break. I just don't think it's a long-term, yeah, it can't sustain the weight of a vacuum hose on it. Plain and simple. Okay, so let's get to this right here. How do we adjust the depth? This right here, but to operate it, hold on here. To operate it, you have to break your grip on it, come up to push it down. Okay, that's fine and all. So what it does mean, whereas this one right here, you're able to maintain your hand on at all times. I'm not breaking my hand. This one right here, maybe if you had really long thumbs. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, but it is what it is. What's another feature of this that I'm not real fond of? The DeWALT is just a all-around better depth, the depth rod. This, of course, you got your little thumb wheel right there. You break that loose, you can adjust this in and out, you know, as far as your depth. This right here, they do supply a wrench. Where's my wrench? Whereas the DeWALT, they put a nut on there with a flat. The Makita, they ended up going with a this right here, and you can see they got a little bit of blue Loctite. They got a little bit of thread sealant on there, or thread lock or whatever, so that way these are not free spinning. It's not locker, it's just to make sure that these aren't free spinning. They're Phillips, but you can't fit a Phillips in there. So that's the reason for the necessity of this. The hand grip, it's very nice. It fits your hands very, very nice. A thumb wheel for the speeds right here. I do like it that it has a little bit of friction and it's not out in the open to where you're going to be moving it, because you really don't need that out in the open too much. What's the story with the guide? Because I got a bunch of the Makita palm router guides, and they sell some really nice guides for this. They don't sell them here in the States though. So I can import it from UK, which I'm still working on, or I think I can import it from Japan. They run, we'll say $90 or over. They do seem like they're a really, really good guide, but it's been a pain to actually get a guide for this. So that is a huge negative. Huge negative. This right here, let me break it off so you understand what's going on in here. So this is what they have done. Makita gives you one. So you got your, get out of there, get your 1/2 inch, and then if you choose to use a 1/4 inch, you slide this in. I don't know if it's a good or a bad idea. I have no idea. It's what it is, and time will tell if this is a good or a bad idea. You did just see that it released a little bit more difficult. I think one of the main reasons is this wrench is a little bit lighter, so it wasn't given. Why isn't that spinning on? I got this thing going backwards. Maybe I got it going backwards. I do. That would make a difference. So I don't know how far that collet is supposed to be sticking out. I mean, that is like the secret of the samurai, that they don't tell They don't give you all that information. Wait, let's talk about batteries a little bit. The 40 volts, I think they're pretty excellent so far. Let me lock that up so it's not moving around. I love the way the 40 volts come in and out. Should I just say almost all Makitas are that way? You don't have to fight their batteries. Just outstanding. One-handed operation. I can't say that for the other brands. This one here. Oh, I did get it out. I did get it out. Wow. I can't always say that about DeWALTs. A little bit tougher. A little bit tougher. The battery, though, I don't have any problem with DeWALTs. Especially their XRs. That battery right there in particular, it popped past. We took a bad fall. And the plastic, the outside of the case, popped on the outside. We ran it that way for quite a while, even though we got a ton of these batteries. Then I finally was like, you know what, let me take this thing apart. I took it apart and got the plastic back in where it is, and this thing is still rocking. As long as you get the XR batteries, most of the time you're pretty good. All right, here's the one thing that is just staring me in the face, and when I saw it, I could not unsee it. It just drove me nuts. All right, so the Makita is pretty uniform. Slightly, I consider it slightly smaller than the DeWALT, because we're running a 40 volt right there. It's almost the same height as the DeWALT with just a 20 volt. If you put a flexible down there, it's going to be taller. All right, so that's a wash. And you can really see it. Let me take both batteries off. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that right there. Some of that might matter to you. It's probably doesn't make any difference. Just get to it, Darren. What is bothering you about it? All right, here it is. Here it is. So I got both tools. I have both tools lined up. And I don't know if you can see it yet. This handle right here, both of these handles are lined up. When we come over to this side, that DeWALT handle, okay, let me back up. Let me back up. Here's the center line, right down the center. Here's both the center lines. You come over to this side, they are centered. Let's come over here. I mean, that's just a touch. I don't know. It's pretty level. You come over to this side. What in the world? Is it just me, or do I know it's going to drive me nuts? I know it's going to drive me nuts routing and having one hand hung way unproportionately way off to the one side. As soon as you see it, it's just going to drive you nuts. Do you see it now? I mean, I didn't see it for the longest time. It's proportionate. Man, that thing is hanging way over there. Way over there. Okay, so I think that's like the only negative. Is this thing centered? Oh, that port of cable's not centered either. You can see it. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see how much difference are we? Whoa. Are we serious? Yeah, that thing's like a full inch off. Oh, I hate you now. That's got a really good light. Try this one. Yeah, see, look at the light down there. All right, so I got this new white side double bit. It does like tongue and groove. Yeah, well, it does a V-notch, tongue and groove V-notch. This is a big one. Now, it really shouldn't be that much work for these guys, but let's run it down. I got a 2x8 right behind us, and let's push it. Let's push it down through it, see how quick it'll do it. That white side, brand new bit. Let's set the speed to, we got 1 through 7. Let's go 4. What is this? What's this one? One through 5. So let's, you know what? Let's do 3. And we will do 3.5 on this. Okay. All right, so it is stalling right there. I'm not sure why. Let me turn the RPM up. Going up to 5. Anti-rotation. I don't know what that is. Let's go up some more. Why are we stalling? Okay. Okay. Makita. Let's do another pass, and I'm gonna leave it on number 3 setting. Like I said, it goes between 1 and 5. The 8 amp is, I want to be fair, it's still in the charger. I want to top that 8 amp Pro Pack off and go from there. But this is still the same battery. It says 4 bars is what it is. This is the first time I've pushed this router the way I am. I am really, really impressed. I'm really impressed with it. It's got a ton of power. Gobs of power. If only I could get a guide and this had better setup. Now I can get a guide, it's just going to be a little bit of a pain to get. They need to improve this right here, and they need to take this off. Take the stupid safety button off, the lock off. Come on, you goofy clowns. Take it off. We're grown adults. We know how to operate tools. I understand their whole idea is you know, about packaging it in somewhere. And well, corded tools didn't have safety, an additional safety button for the longest time. Now we got all these goofy, you got to bend over. You remember that, what is that show? Twister, or maybe not Twister. Whatever. You know where you're bending all around a person to get your hand in a certain position? That's what I feel like with a lot of these tools. Dumb. We're growing adults running these things. We don't need all these dumb safeties all over it. Now, I am leaning over a saw stop. There's a reason why that is. The saw stop is not a tool that slows you down in working. This is. Every time I turn around, that button is doing it. Props for the DeWALT for not having this goofy button. Like I said, I need to go in and see if I can change the length of time that's on. It cycles on way too quick. Way too quick. All right, I'm going to go and do a pass. That's my rant right there. I'm going to do a pass right there in 3. And probably not push it as hard. Well, I guess, let me push it. Let me see if I can get it to stall. There we go. Ooh. It's throwing chips out so hard it's actually hurting my hand. Either way, good luck. Good luck stalling that thing. Okay, here we go. 3 bars, 8 amp. Harley runs this in a Sol. Seems to be a pretty good battery. Let's give it a go. So the battery did help. I was getting sensing that it was about ready to stall there. I did go through the knot. It doesn't have as much power as what the Makita has, but we could live with that if I owned it. So this saw, this router rather, is dependent on the battery. So it's gonna stall unless you throw enough power against it. Whatever the technology in there is, it needs it. So that's a 5 amp. It couldn't handle running this. So I got this 8 amp and it was chugging right down through there, doing good. So I think the Makita is a touch ahead of it. I know it is, because I could feel it right there that this was starting to pull down and power quite a bit. The Makita didn't do that at all. You could tell. And I wasn't pushing this DeWALT, but it don't matter. That was acceptable right there. So from everything I've seen, I think those videos where they're running lags down through are the dumbest videos. I do. Because what does it matter if this is, what does it matter if the Makita was a few seconds quicker? Who's going to push their stuff through? Now, you saw it right there the last time. It didn't stall. So that means we're good to go. I mean, no one's going to push router bits through that hard. You're not looking for any type of quality if you are. But, you know, some people may be running a lot bigger router bit than this. Because that's only, what are we, about an inch and a half across there. You know, you may be running a 2-inch, because I got a couple over there that are 2-inch that I do tongue and groove, V-knot or V-groove, tongue and groove, and they're 1/4-inch shank. Those things always scare me. But China is not scared. If you want any configuration of router bit, they'll make anything for you. Hopefully one of them never comes loose. That'll be scary. But I would prefer, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted a 1/2-inch cordless, because I want to get up to not a 1/2-inch. Yes, I wanted a 1/2-inch chuck. I wanted a 1/2-inch size router bits, because some of these router bits are too big for a 1/4-inch shank. But like I said, China will make anything. If you want that big of router bit, they'll like, yeah, sure, we'll sell you a 1/4-inch. Do you mind keeping your head? Okay, see ya.